every final detail of the bill, not close to it. It's not an attempt to jam anyone. It's just a vote on whether senators are ready to begin debating the issue, and even Republicans will tell you, since I set a deadline, they're moving much more quickly in the negotiations than they were before. Again, a yes vote tomorrow is simply that the Senate is ready to begin debating a bipartisan infrastructure bill. No more, no less. We've waited a month. It's time to move forward. Once we get on the bill, there's going to be plenty of time for the bipartisan group to continue its work. The bottom line is simple. If senators agree to start the debate, there are going to be many opportunities for the bipartisan group to make their agreement the base of the bill, and if they can't come to agreement, to make parts of their bill added to the base bill. And you know what if the bipartisan group is as close to an agreement as they say they are, then they should have no issues with this timeline. We're going to give them every opportunity to finish their negotiations and make their agreement the final product on the Senate floor. But if the Senate Republicans vote no tomorrow, they will be denying the Senate an opportunity to consider the bipartisan infrastructure framework. Okay? Look, this has been, as I said, a routine process in the Senate all year. When you say you must have the whole bill done before you go forward, when negotiations have been going on for a month and there have been things added and things subtracted, you'll never get it done. And so we did this way in USICA. We did this way in anti-Asian hate crimes bill. And of course, we can do it again in infrastructure. I think there's goodwill on both sides to finish the bipartisan infrastructure bill before the August recess. That's my goal. But in order to finish the bill, we first need to start. If you're serious about getting a bipartisan bill done, there's no good reason not to support starting the process now. Democrats are ready to roll up their sleeves, move forward, and get to work and finish the job. Senator Durbin.
I'd like to speak to two issues, and one of them is timely. Last Friday in Texas, federal judge Hannon ruled that the DACA Act was not legal or constitutional. He withheld the implementation of that decision for some time, but this was something anticipated, expected, and frankly, troubling as can be. This was a lawsuit that did not happen by chance. It was started by the Republican Texas Attorney General, who gathered together attorneys general across the United States to join him. It was filed before the same federal court, the same federal judge that decided that DAPA was unconstitutional. It took him several months of consideration, but he came to the conclusion in his ruling last Friday, which now is on appeal. I'm happy that President Biden and Attorney General Garland have said they're going to appeal this decision as quickly as possible. The lives of 650,000 people in America are at stake as to whether they will be deported or allowed to live in the United States of America. It is just that basic. And hundreds of thousands of others who are eligible for DACA protection have been denied that chance by this ruling. I only say that because you know the intensity of feeling that many of us have about this issue and the belief that we have to resolve it this year. We cannot let these people be deported. They have contributed so much to America and will contribute so much more. This afternoon, there'll be a rare sighting on the floor of the United States Senate. I hope you're there to see it. We might see bipartisanship. Yes, it's alive, it's well. We think the Victims of Crime Act is coming up for reauthorization. We have a good array of Democrats and Republicans who are co-sponsoring it. It is a program that doesn't cost one single tax dollar, but provides for the victims of domestic violence and other terrible crimes some compensation to get their lives back together. I want to particularly call out Senator Tammy Baldwin, who really stepped up and came up with a formula for replenishing these funds at a time when it was critically important. Senator Murray.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Durbin. This morning, our Help Committee heard from leading health experts within the Biden and Harris administration to get an update on their work on COVID-19. We discussed the urgent need for Americans to continue to get vaccinated and protect themselves and their loved ones from the Delta variant. And we also talked about the need to learn the lessons from this pandemic, even as we continue to fight it today. Many of those lessons have to do with rebuilding our nation's public health system so that we are better prepared next time. But the pandemic also really made us take a good look in the mirror about a whole range of things that were not working. Families are facing the cost and stress of childcare, healthcare coverage, prescription drugs, higher education. 4 out of 5 private sector workers do not have paid family leave. And while millions of people lost their jobs, the top 1% gained about $10 trillion in wealth over the last year. Meanwhile, longstanding challenges like making sure we have a fair pathway to immigration and grappling with the climate crisis that is literally at our doorstep continue to demand urgent action. Senate Democrats are tackling these challenges head-on as we try to pass both a bipartisan infrastructure package that would help rebuild our transit, broadband, and electric grid for the realities of the 21st century economy, and a bill that prioritizes the human side of our economy, the workers, families, communities, who rightly expect their country to have their back in challenging times like this, and who just as rightly believe we can come back stronger and fairer than before. We have got a lot of work ahead of us, but Democrats are united in wanting to deliver for the American people, and that is what we are determined to do. Senator Stabenow.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, today is 6 months since President Joe Biden was inaugurated and Vice President Kamala Harris. And in those 6 months, we have been laser focused, as have they, in helping families across the country build a better life for themselves and for their children. And it's amazing when you think about the fact it's only been 6 months and how hard we've been working and how much we've been able to accomplish. Let me tell you what this means to a mom in Michigan with 2 children. First, 160 million Americans are fully vaccinated for COVID-19, including this mom. And more people are getting shots every day, and that means she's going to be able to go back to work now with confidence, and her 2 children are going to be able to go back in person in the classroom this fall. She has more job opportunities. We have jobs being created at double the pace they were before January. Think about that. Twice as fast as before President Biden came into office. Over 3 million jobs. Over 3 million jobs so far. Now, for this mom, last week she received a welcome surprise in her bank account, a new tax cut called the Child Tax Credit. And the great news is that she will be able to receive it not once, but every month between now and the end of the year. And this extra $500 couldn't come at a more important time to help her pay some bills and to pay for new backpacks and shoes for the kids. This isn't a tax cut for people who need it the least. It's a tax cut for people who need it the most. And it's focused on American families. So we're just getting started. President Biden, Democrats in Congress are now working on plans to create millions of new jobs while tackling the climate crisis, extending the largest middle-class tax cut in our history as a country, while making the wealthy pay their fair share, and cutting costs for families that keep them up at night. American families have waited long enough to have their needs put first. And I'm proud to say their wait is over, and that we, President Biden, Democrats in Congress, have the backs of the American people.
Thank you. You go first.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to ask you, where do you stand on getting all of your members on the same page on the budget resolution?
We're going to get all our members on the same page. As you saw, we had great unity in the Budget Committee, and we're going to have Democratic unity on a budget resolution with reconciliation instructions, and we're not going to go home until we do it. Yes?
The Office of the Attending Physician said that the Delta variant has been detected on the Hill and that individuals should consider masking at your own discretion. Are you considering changing your position on masking, and what should those of us that work up here
Look,
be doing?
I'm going to be working closely with the attending physician and follow his and their guidance. We're going to listen to science, plain and simple. Yes?
Senator Schumer, what do you Republicans who are saying that you're trying to kill the bipartisan deal by holding a vote that's likely to fail tomorrow?
Well, look, there's no reason it should fail. Ask them, what is the reason? They say they need the whole bill text. They haven't asked for that on bill after bill after bill. The plan that I have is very fair to the bipartisan process. First, move forward on the shell bill. That's just a motion to proceed, just to debate it. Then, if by tomorrow the bipartisan bill is ready, or even if the outline is ready, we'll go forward and put that bill on the floor. And if not, we'll put something together that just about every Republican voted for that deals with the infrastructure that is bipartisan. What could be wrong with that? We never, almost never wait on a complex bill like this for the full bill to be put on the floor to be debated. So we're moving forward, and we hope our Republican friends will decide they want to move forward as well. Yes?
Will tomorrow's vote be their only opportunity, or if that fails, would you consider bringing it up again?
Look, we hope that our Republican friends vote yes tomorrow. That's what they should be doing if they believe in a bipartisan bill. There's no reason why they shouldn't. Yes?
Yes, Senator Graham has said that Republicans should consider leaving town to deny quorum to Democrats in order to defeat.
That speaks for itself. Yes, you're the last one.
Will you move to the budget reconciliation process if this vote fails?
Look, we want to get both the bipartisan bill done and the budget reconciliation process done, and we're hopeful that our Republican colleagues will realize that the best way to do that is voting yes on the motion to proceed on the shell bill, so we can finally, after a month of negotiations, begin debating a bipartisan infrastructure bill. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just called on women, and I'm proud of that.
He's getting better.
Sorry, John.
We're working on it.